killing's fine, but gotta do it honestly. I don't know if this is a name, but having like a robotic effect on a voice, I kinda like that. I kinda like that a lot. Don't you chuckle at me robotically. I'm trying to be a hardened criminal. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir David, and today I want to play a game called Last Call at Desert Blossom. In this world, it's get or get got. There are no opportunities besides the ones you make for yourself, and if you can't make 'em, you take 'em instead. Not to sound heartless, I'm anything but that. I've got sympathy to spare. But I'm also realistic. We live in a world where men walk around with 7, 8, 9 digits on their wallets, while there are people starving in the streets. Some of 'em die out there, but me, I saw it for what it was before it was too late. I made my plans accordingly, and I decided to follow that old philosophy. All's fair in love and war. I've never been rich, but I've made it by just fine. I don't have any regrets. I've done what I've needed to. I've been around, seen a lot of faces, and burnt a lot of bridges, all in the name of self-preservation. My only gripe would be is that sometimes it seems I've made a better name for myself than a living. I spend a lot of time on the road and moving around. With the choices I've made, I can't really afford the luxury of staying idle for too long, not with all the vultures trailing my stink. They're no better than me, but they're getting paid to put me down by some of my loose ends. Oh. It's a bit hypocritical, but I guess they've got to make ends meet just as much as I do. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I always land on my feet. Is this going to be the one time where I don't? All right, more like 75% of the time. Generously. But I live to see another day, and that's the important bit. Usually. I'm not so sure about this time. Maybe I got a bit lazy. Maybe I've gotten a bit comfortable in my routine. Either way, there's a pistol aimed right about gut level under the counter, and it's aimed in my direction specifically. Crap. Well now, didn't think I'd run into you here. Or maybe I did. Suppose it really doesn't matter, does it? We're here's now. Why don't you get yourself settled? Let's you and me have a little chat. Why do I feel like I'm being... Robot cowboy! Robot cowboy! Robot cowboy! Is something new being awakened in me? Well, he's got me. Put the cuffs on me. I'm an outlaw who's met their match. Right now. Don't worry yourself too much about my little friend here. Oh, you mean the gun under the table? We've been at this long enough. I'd be offended for you to think I'd be so impersonal. After all, it's only been, what, 1, 2? Aw, heck. I've lost track of how long we've been at it now. Time sure flies. Walker T. Runner. How unexpected. Is that me? Am I the fugitive? Walker T. Runner. That's great. That's good. I like that. That's a good name. And by that, I mean completely expected. Oh. In the flesh, Bangtail. Or not. I'm here. He smiles, sweet as molasses. That smile's gonna get me killed. Sweet enough to make most people forget he's packing heat. Walker is nothing if not persistent. Of all the bounty hunters I've ever had to deal with in my life, he's been by far the most cordial about it. But he's also come the closest to getting the job done. Yeah, I can imagine that. You've seduced me 87 times. You're not gonna get me 88. Okay, you've seduced me 88 times. You're not gonna get me 89. I'm not sure who sent him. I don't know how much they're paying him. All I know is he's a MechHead. Bucket of bolts, rattling around the inside of that chrome skull of his. That very nice skull with sleepy eyes. No, I am a horrible, hardened fugitive. I cannot fall in love with my bounty hunter. He's a pricey one, too, or the remnants of one. And here I thought I was safe. You're a good guy type, right? Casinos and bars really don't feel like your kind of scene. Such a nasty stereotype. You think I'm here putting you away like a noble policeman? Why don't you go on and boil me down to my circuits and bits while you're at it? You know how this goes. You flirt with me, I get smitten, and then you nearly kill me, and then I run away. Good guys don't leave bodies in bags. You know, you never did tell me how it was you lost your jaw. Feeling parched? I could go for a story. Naughty, naughty, Bangtail. The offer's tempting, but I've got business to see to. And something tells me you won't be around when I'm finished. You really want to kill me. What did I do to you aside being a terrible outlaw? Buzzkill. Hey now, it's just what's got to be done. Consider it the climax of our little epic. The end of a good game played. I don't waste bullets on just anyone. It's been an honor, really. Bang! And that's the end of the game. That's the end of the demo. Bang! It's over. What if you didn't and you said you did? I don't follow. You tell your guys you didn't see me. Call it a mulligan. Interesting proposal. What I'm hearing is you want me to fib for you. That'll do. No thanks. I don't have much of a code of honor, so to speak, but lying's just outside my purview. I see. Killing's fine, but gotta do it honestly. I don't know if this is a name, but having like a robotic effect on a voice, I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. Don't you chuckle at me robotically. I'm trying to be a hardened criminal. Exactly. Now you're getting it. So, who ratted me out? Was it Steve? I hate that Steve. Was it the bellboy? Or maybe the bartender? It's a long story. One I don't care much to elaborate on. Let's just say miraculous circumstance brought us together. Or I've just been watching you real close-like. Take your pick. I'm not a proud man. I'll admit when I've got a fixation.
Oh no.
With all those pistons, I'm surprised I didn't hear my shadow behind me.
That's a shame.
I'm gonna faint every time he talks. Stop talking. Just don't say anything else, Walker. Just stop talking. I don't know either. You're getting sloppy. Shame, really. But I'll throw you a bone, because I've enjoyed our time together so much. One final drink for the road. A toast to the good times. And if I say no? I figured I'd just have to get to painting the room with your insides then. Then sure, only if you're buying.
Careful now.
Resist! Resist! Do not faint! Stop! Trying to focus. I'm trying to be a scary criminal. That'd be the polite thing to do. I don't want to admit it, but something tells me this isn't like any other time before. Sure, he's been dogged in his pursuit, but he's never had me pinned. Nobody seems to notice or care about him. There's nothing I can do that won't end with me getting gunned down before I make the move. I'm really stuck. Unless I flirt aggressively. Which I'm probably going to do anyway. What? Is this not your usual? He hands me my drink. The rat bastard he is, he's gotten it right. He knows what my favorite drink is. No, it is. Good. I'd hate to look like I haven't been paying it any attention. 'Cause I have. I know exactly what you have. I know how you like 'em, too. You're an interesting read, you know? You're not the only one who's learned a thing or two, you know. I know plenty about you. Is that so? All right then, indulge me. Tell me something. You're smarmy. You're pompous. You're a two-faced cretin. And you've got nothing better to do than to follow around innocent little old me. Getting that out of your system? Good on you. Takes cojones to look down the barrel and be so blunt. It's only a pity that you don't have anything nicer to say. You're incredibly handsome. I love the sound of your voice. I like your eyes, and your hair is really nice. So there. Is that really all the thought of me inspires when I come to mind? Well, there was that one time you let me live. But where's the fun in that? We all meet our maker eventually. Aren't you so glad it's me and not some yellow-bellied foggy? Fogey? Foggy? That's one word I ain't familiar with.
Fogey.
I care about my work. I do a good job. And I promise, I won't miss. It'll be quick and easy. Much better than going out in the ways most everyone else does. Can you really say you'd prefer to spend your last days laid up and brittle-boned eating applesauce, not much else?
I mean, unless it was with you.
Who would not be brittle-boned and eating applesauce? No, but I've still got a few good years left in me. Can't blame me for wanting to use them up. Oh, Bangtail. Sweet, naive Bangtail. I'm afraid you don't get much of a say in the matter. Oh well. It's darkly comical. Comedical. So friendly. So rosy-cheeked and dapper. And yet so deadly. It's hot. I mean, it's a mystery to me still, how he got this way. Mr. Walker, who hurt you? Who hurt you? He's a sadistic bastard. I bet he gets high off the chase. Usually, I'm game to give it to him, but caught so unawares like this is embarrassing. This is a new scenario file. You know, I can't help but think about how reckless you've been. What would you have done if I was someone else? Someone less respectable? What's that supposed to mean? You know darn well what I mean. If I was some other son of a biscuit, I might have come up behind you and just done you in. Then what? I'd be dead. Bingo. But no prize. I really am disappointed in you. Maybe I was expecting you. You really want to be the one to do me in, huh? Don't make me beg, Bangtail. You say that like I've got a say in the matter. And you act like you don't care, and that makes me sad. I'm sure it does. Man alive, I'm gonna miss this when you're gone. I don't know what I'll do with all that quiet. I guess you'll have to find some other unwitting victim to stalk. Yeah, technically, he is a stalker. Alas and alack, I don't think it'll be that simple. You know, it's never just been about the kill. Killing's easy. People kill over every day from just about nothing. Helping Mother Nature along doesn't take much. Getting Miyazaki chills. I'm real particular about the jobs I take. I don't go getting after just anyone.
Oh, so I'm special.
Besides, maybe the defense measure. I actually prefer to keep my hands clean. I really want it to mean something when I take a life. It's gotta stand for something.
Oh, really? And what does my death mean to you?
There ain't no simple way to say it, but I guess you could say every bullet in a skull is like my little Hallmark card when you care enough to send the very best.
So all this is just your way of saying you're sweet on me. Oh.
Can I plead the fifth?
If you want to, but that's a pretty wild thing to find out before.
You know, nudges to the gun under the table. It's as good a time as any. A dead man's thoughts are worth more than a penny for a reason.
Well, yeah, I guess they does have a good point.
Am I meant to be embarrassed or something? Would you prefer it if I came hat in hand?
Don't do that. I might faint. Might make it a little more romantic.
Oh.
1,000 pardons, then. Let's make these final moments extra special.
I think I'd like that. Now that I think about it, this might be the most nonchalant I've ever seen you. I think I like this color on you.
It is nice to have a quiet moment now and again. One that's nice and cozy, and not penetrated by the throbbing, pulsating terror that rolls around in the back of one's head.
I'll drink to that. All this quiet's got me thinking, though. What did you like about chasing me? Call me curious.
Hi there, curious.
Smack. Fluff off.
Sorry, I had to.
As I was saying, I'd like to know, what did you like best about chasing me?
Ah.
Shoot, that's easy. Huh. I guess it ain't.
You're pulling my leg, then. You just want me to think I'm special.
Hold on now. I'm just trying to be nuanced about this. You want me to be all romantic-like? Let a man think for a moment.
All right.
I got it. You've got this ability to really get my blood boiling. Gets my wires all tied up. Singes them real nice-like. I know I ain't flesh and bone like you, but it's about as close to alive as I'll ever get. Stop! I ain't ever felt anything like it, and I don't want to know what it'll be like without it.
Aww.
And yet, I can't help but wonder how high that high goes. What kind of places finishing the job can take me. I know it's sick, but the cat that watches the canary eventually starts to wonder what it'll taste like. Even if it'll miss that poor bird's pretty song. Don't you think for a second I don't want you here? This is just how I know to love you best. I want the end of your precious little life to revolve entirely around me. I won't be beat out, and I won't share a lick of that moment. It's just you and me, and I'll wear that like a badge of honor.
It's anything but cold in here, but I feel a chill warble down my spine. There's a clean, precise, almost surgical sound to the way he describes it. To the way he describes me. It's like hearing a starving man talk about his favorite foods. The hunger in his eyes is palpable. Wow, that's a lot to take in.
It doesn't scare you, does it?
No. I certainly do feel special now, though.
You're more than special to me, Bangtail. You're the air in my mechanical lungs, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
There's a gnawing at my insides. I can see it now. As pleasant as this has been, our time is very quickly drawn to an end. I don't have forever. I have the rest of this conversation. It's really starting to sink in now. He's not planning on changing his mind, no matter how aggressively I flirt with him. This might very well be it.
Bangtail? You're not looking so hot. You feeling okay?
You're a real butt, you know that, right?
And where exactly is this coming from all of a sudden?
It would have been nice to know any of this before. I might have liked to spend a bit longer than a quick chat knowing that you saw me as a bit more than, say, an enemy, with benefits.
Of course I don't think of you as that. I know I ain't exactly been forthright about all this, but I was kinda hoping my actions spoke for themselves.
You know, if you want to tell somebody that you like them, it would probably be best for you to not pursue them with the intent of killing them.
Mr. Walker!
That's not enough. Sometimes it's nice to know that you're valued. As flattering as all your efforts have been, I don't know. I've never known what to make of you. I just know there are a lot of times I could have used some sign that I wasn't just another cockroach crawling through the crap.
This kind of situation ain't exactly the done thing in our respective professions. You know that.
It's not, so we don't know how it could have played out. I, for one, would have liked to see.
You're right. Can't argue with that. I suppose I'd been a little more blunt about the nature of our little game. Maybe it could have been for the worse. Maybe it could have been for the better. You were more than a good time. I ain't that kind of fella. But I can see how you'd feel that way. I'm sorry. I got so caught up in how all this made me feel, I didn't think about you nearly as much as I should have. Heck, I was getting paid to give a darn about you, and I didn't even see it. I promise you, Lord is my witness, I'll get this done, and that'll be it. Nothing else. No more bounties. None of that. I'll be an honest man, and I'll let you make that of me, if you'll let this fool of yours have you.
Wait, did you just indirectly propose? I guess that would be fine with me. If I can't trust you, I don't have many other options. Might as well take one final leap of faith.
You don't know how happy that makes me to hear. Most people would say it's not personal, but for me, it is. I don't mind at all, thinking about spending the rest of my days knowing you are mine and mine alone to the last drop.
Oh wait, or are you still going to kill me? Don't you get too sappy on me now. It's embarrassing.
Sure thing.
So, what about you? How does all this make you feel?
I don't really know, to be frank. I just didn't figure how time would run out so quickly. I'm starting to think there might be a bit more about you I'll miss. I've got some strange notions. Turning and leaving you, laid out for all to see. It's hardly dignified, and I know the crooked cops around these parts enough to figure you'll probably be tossed in a ditch somewhere. No name, no headstone, no nothing. Leaves a sour taste in my mouth as we speak. I've never missed. But why am I afraid that I might? And why am I even more afraid that I might not?
Probably because you know this is a sick and twisted charade, and getting caught up in it was the fun part. Now it's time we both pay our dues.
That's a shame.
It ain't easy. It ain't fair. You learn how to breathe, and then you get the air knocked right back out of you.
I wonder what could have been. We just run off together. I wonder what could have been.
Interesting.
You and me riding off into the sunset. Getting ourselves a white picket fence life set up with all our ill-gotten goods.
Maybe some kids, or some dogs, or both, or neither. Maybe we just sit in bed all day and relive the honeymoon.
Ah, yes, the one to Cancun. Nice trip. Didn't leave the hotel room not one single time.
No more shooting, no more looting. Fake passports, fake birth certificates, new names.
And a new faceplate from me?
No, leave it that way. I like it that way.
Whatever you say, sugar. Or maybe you'd prefer sweetheart.
Bangtail or nothing at all. We're getting domesticated, not matching purse dogs.
All right, then my Bangtail you'll be, till death do us part.
I do. Please don't shoot me right now. I'm going to cry if that happens.
I look down. My drink's empty. Guess my time's up now. It's time.
I suppose it is.
Any final words?
Yeah, not too much though.
I can't believe you'd save all those pretty words until now.
Say something else for me. One for the road.
Don't look at me like that, Bangtail. You're going all doe-eyed on me like that.
Yeah, because I'm actually tearing up. I'm actually about to cry.
If that's the last of you I see, I'll never get you out of my head.
Is this heaven? Or is it full of robotic cowboy husbands? Actually crying right meow. Why can't they just be together? What if I really turn up the charm and flirt aggressively? You sure I can't distract you? You sure there's nothing I can do to distract you from killing me in the gut and making everybody cry? It wouldn't be the first time.
Well, that's just not fair. I had bigger fish to fry and you know it.
Oh?
Any port in a storm. Wink, wink. The point is, you can be derailed and we both know it.
That's quite the smart mouth you got on you. Must be brand new. Otherwise, I can't figure why you'd be so keen to show it off at a moment like this.
How's about you just say you're not interested? It'd save me the hurt feelings.
I must politely decline your offer at this moment, thank you. Besides, you ain't even asked me for dinner.
How rude of me. You cut a nice figure. I mean, he does. I need to play more games with sexy robots. Maybe that'll be what I take with me when I go.
Flattery don't charge these batteries, you know.
That's a good line.
But I guess I appreciate the sentiment. You've probably seen more of it than anyone else.
A rare blessing in my hard, bitter life.
Now you're just blowing smoke up my stack. You'd best stop that before I get a big head.
I'm allowed to reminisce on the fineries of life.
I'll allow it then.
And I know I'm being flirty, but I want to know, who hired you? Who is after me this bad? Who saw you and say, let me send you after Espoir, knowing that she'd fall for you?
I'm curious. You've gone through all this trouble to find me. Someone's got to be lying in your pockets. Who put you up to this to begin with?
Gentlemen don't kiss and tell.
You're kissing who else now?
You know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. Please explain.
Come on, you can trust me. I'm just an adorable fugitive. What am I gonna do? Crawl up from the grave and tell on you?
I guess not. Couldn't hurt to finally let you in on this one tidbit, I reckon. I'm not some two-bit gun for hire. I don't work for just anybody. Suffice it to say, I had no intention on actually doing you in. The offer was real humdrum to me, not my kind of thing. There was this real greased weasel who had it in for you. Wouldn't take no for an answer. Apparently he heard good things about me. From who, not sure, but he was persistent. Went by the name V. Found out later it was short for Velox. Does that mean anything to you?
Ah, I see. Mr. V, aka Mr. Aubergine Velox, head of a tech compound, Velco. I had some business to do with them a long time ago. It didn't end up pretty. I nabbed a choice piece of tech and some plans for a rival company. I made a good mint on that job. Is that why you're mad at me? Ever since then, Mr. V has been somewhat of a recurring character in my exploits.
He was an antsy bastard, I'll tell you that for free. So much energy in an overpressed pinstripe suit 10 times too big for his scrawny little self. He talked real tough, but a gentle breeze would have put him out to pastures. Almost put me off the gig entirely.
Well, what made you take the job then?
Well, as luck would have it, I met you.
Oh!
I remember it like it was yesterday. Ran into you at a bar, not but a week or two after. You spilled beer on my nice chaps. Sure, I could have throttled you right then and there, but before I could, you dashed away. I guess you could say it all started right there. I messed up his Jordan, so now he's out for me.
Doesn't take much to rile you up, huh?
Only the way you turned and gave that half-butt apology before you skipped out on me.
Sorry, bye!
Just left me there, wondering where you'd gone. And how quickly could I track you down again?
I see. For what it's worth, I probably really was sorry. Just not enough to stick around to pay for it or whatever.
Accidents happen. All that matters is that I caught you in the end, right?
Yeah. There's a gnawing at my insides. I can see it now. As pleasant as this has been, our time is very quickly drawing to an end. It is what it is, like you said. If not for you, who else would have done it? I've done a lot of things to deserve this. I've kicked wasp nests all my life, but in this final moment, I have to wonder what it all amounted to.
Who knows, really? It's not till you're dead and gone that they start counting the notches in your belt. Maybe they'll make a song about you. Maybe you'll just fade away. Like dust in the Mojave, gone. But that's all our fates, really. We're here 1 minute and then we're gone. What matters is how the best moments made you feel. You're the only one who'll ever know that. You'll take your pleasure with you. You sure gave me a run for my money, and those are the moments I'll take with me when I see my end days.
I guess. All those other poor bounty hunters I'll leave behind.
The what?
Yeah, there's a couple more. I wonder if they'll be as disheartened about this as you. I can promise you they won't be. If they had even half the gumption I've had. They sure don't anymore. Not after I've had anything to say about it.
You've been sniping my bounty hunters?
And that's such an unsportsmanlike way to phrase it.
Wait, did you actually do that?
I consider it more like protecting my interest. They'd done a bad job anyways. They didn't fire like I did.
That's more acceptable than I thought it'd be. Seriously, dude? You're a little silly.
Guess that means I've had my claws in you real good. Bangtail, you've got no clue.
What's that mean anyways? You've never told me.
It's a wild horse. A Mustang. Unrideable. Unropeable. Straight out of Hades. That's you. Heck in a handbasket, my Bangtail.
Oh, but again,
And what will you call me when I'm gone? For the trouble you've put me through, you'll always be my Bangtail.
I can die with that. Oh yeah, I didn't ask, what exactly are you?
You're really just asking me that now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I must have forgotten to ask somewhere in between all the gunfire.
Fair enough. I guess it's pretty obvious I ain't like you in that aspect. I got all the same working parts, just a bit shiner's all. I don't right remember where it was I came from. I'm sure at some point I did have a full faceplate, but this life is all I've ever known, and it's all I remember.
Wait, so are you a robot or are you a cyborg? Because I thought you were a cyborg.
Of course, don't you go feeling sorry for me. I get by.
I really wasn't.
Came to find out through enough visits to the shop. I'm a CompuCom, intelligent personality systems included.
Oh.
Real ironic. The guy who paid me to plug you, his daddy's daddy made us way back yonder in the 2040s.
Is this the future we have to look forward to?
I'm alright with that! Unless I become an adorable fugitive who gets gunned down by my crush. As far as I'd been able to learn, MechHeads like me were for holding doors and whatnot. All sorts of domestic tedium. Pricey little knickknacks at the time. Now, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, they banned artificial persons in... Oh, artificial persons, that's cute. In 2063, right?
Wait, so what is this year now? Right as rain. Something about us taking their jobs. Phooey on 'em, I say. I'm still here. They ain't allowed to do nothing about it. Only the good lords are calling me home.
The good lord strike this walking, talking tin can down in your name.
The Lord giveth and taketh away, you know. Don't you suppose that, even if just for an inch, I might be?
You keep talking like that, and you just might find yourself getting lit up like a Christmas tree.
Fine, fine. I'll just keep that pretty little thought to myself. I do have regrets. I have regrets. Is meeting me one of them?
Funnily enough, no. No, you've been the highlight of it all. I regret getting myself here today, not meeting you on better terms. I regret coming here, taking this all for granted. I had you on my trail, and I was foolish enough to think I could just prance around and everything would be okay. I took you for granted. And now it's all over, and I'm just now realizing how much fun I've had with you. I'm actually losing something here. Something that means more to me than my crappy life.
What does that say? I'm gonna miss the son of a biscuit that killed me more than I'm gonna miss everything else. I'll miss you too, Bangtail. I'll be thinking about you every day. But I won't regret tonight. I'm gonna be too busy thinking about all the beautiful things that came out of it. There's nothing out there in them there deserts. Nothing but old bones and sun-scorched earth. And yet, you see this little flower in my lapel? She's real pretty, ain't she? She's a desert blossom, a cactus flower. She didn't care none about the sun and the heat picking on her. She just grew there anyways. Then I saw her, and I picked her. And I thought she was the most beautiful flower I ever did see. She lived a hard life, one you and I couldn't imagine. And sure, she didn't live a long one either. But you can bet and bet till your very last cent that she's gonna stay with me to the end. And when her time comes, there ain't gonna be no other flower like her. That's us, right now, in this singular moment. That's you, Bangtail. What we had grew against all odds, and it was spectacular. Let's not ask about what we got all wrong and just enjoy this for what it's been.
That was oddly beautiful. Let's just run away together with that white picket fence and them dogs.
Yeah. I look down. My drink's empty. Guess my time is up now. I'm sorry I couldn't play our game any longer. But it was fun while it lasted.
Oh, Bangtail. I'll play it again and again with you in our next lives.
That would make me happy.
Gosh darn it. There's only one way this can end. Well, that was Last Call at Desert Blossom. A short and lovely game that has broken my heart. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I like Mr. Walker. Mr. Runner. I'd love to know more about him. But sadly I can't. Because I'm dead. He had to shoot me. But it was so romantic. We could have had something. We did have something special. He's probably gonna like take a memento from my body and carry it around with him. And if he has tear ducts, he's probably gonna cry. He's gonna live the rest of his robotic life thinking about the one person that he loved and that he had to kill him. I don't know if there will be more to these characters or this storyline, but there will be a link in the description to this game so that you can follow the developer. I gotta go finish off that ice cream. Get a new box of tissues. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself. Have a great night, and remember, there is always hope. Because now I have to run back down and put this ice cream back downstairs in the freezer. I probably stop eating ice cream. Edit me if you want. You can put that at the end of the video.